we go. The PlayStation 1. The PlayStation 1. The PlayStation 1. Dominated the whole freaking PlayStation 1. The PlayStation 1. The PlayStation 1. The PlayStation 1. Dominated the whole freaking PlayStation 1. Can't get smart with me on this one. PS1 is far better than the Saturn. It has more games, a decent controller, and a popular reception. I'm on the critics! Peace out and deuces beyond the infinite. Unbelievable. I should have done a review of this system a long time ago. The moment I started the TheReptile124 reviews, which was back in 2013, I should have reviewed this system. When I started reviewing consoles, that was early January 2014, but the TheReptile124 reviews actually started in 2013 in terms of movie reviews, but that's not important. Anyways, I'm going to review the SEGA Dreamcast, one of the greatest consoles ever made, and the final SEGA console that SEGA ever invented. It was released in Japan in 1998, and the United States never got theirs until 1999, specifically September 9th, 1999, only 2 months after I was born. So yeah, I am in fact older than this system by 2 months. July 8th, in case you're wondering, for those of you who don't know. But anyway, let's talk about it. As usual, in every Reptile review, we have to talk about the console itself before we can go on with the rest of it. First off, you notice that the console itself does bear a little bit of a resemblance to the PlayStation, except it's much more square. And it's kind of ironic, actually, because, you know, this thing actually competed against the PS2. Oh yeah, as a matter of fact, the PS2 is the main reason why this thing blown out, because this thing only lasted from 1999 to 2001, so it had the shortest lifespan compared to most game consoles. It's mainly because this system blew out this console. Oh jeez, I probably should not have set the PS2 on top of the Dreamcast. Let's move on. Anyways, let's talk about the console design. You can see, like I just said, it's much more square. It's actually a heavy game console with a built-in power supply, so it probably explains the weight. You can see this is your open button. This is the tray. Obviously the disc, where the disc goes. This is the LED light from when the system is powered up. This is your power button. Oh yeah, you can plug in 4 controllers, unlike the PS2. And all the other 6th generation consoles that came out around the time at least had all 4 of them. The Microsoft Xbox and the GameCube and this one had all 4 controllers in the front, except for the PS2, in case you're wondering. And it was also powered by Windows CE. I'm not sure exactly what this was used for, but just go ahead and tell me in the comments and just let me know exactly what this is for, because I can't remember. Anyway, let's move on. This is the side right here. It's got a little fan right here, obviously for breathing. I should also mention for the record that it was the first game console to use a built-in internet connection so you could play online, which is the downside here. The sin here is that there weren't too many games that were released for this one right here. But on the plus side, you can still access the internet with this thing here. Once again, there's a little heat vent right here. This is where the audio and video cables would go. This right here is your serial output to link 2 consoles together. And this is the AC power. But like I said, because it has an internal power supply rather than external, it just has a regular like AC cord, so you don't have to like, you know, use like a thing with box here. Anyways, now that that's out of the way, now we're also going to have to discuss the controller. And this is the good part here. This is the SEGA Dreamcast controller. While it's actually one of my favorite game controllers. It would make it on the top 10 list, mainly because of how comfortable it is. The only reason how come it wouldn't rank in a top 5, it would only have to be like maybe in the top 10 or 8, like maybe the first 8, like maybe the first 2 consoles, like, you know, maybe between 10 and 8, mainly because of the analog stick is so slippery and stuff like that. But luckily, I can tighten my fists on there. It's just that I just wish it wasn't this slippery though. This is your D-pad right here. This is your start button, Y, X, A, B. All you need, really. And the triggers is on the back. And you can see it has a little comfortable thing right here. It's actually, like, when you look at the back, it's almost like some kind of spaceship. Now, you might be wondering, what are these two things here for? You can actually plug in two VMUs. What is a VMU, you might ask? It's this thing. This is the memory card. Yep, this thing. This thing also acts as a little LCD, little play thing, but unfortunately, mine doesn't work, so I just gotta replace the batteries. But I can definitely tell you that this thing will work, though, if you were to replace the batteries and stuff like that. It allows you to play little mini games from the games that you saved onto this thing, so this thing's pretty cool. And the best part is, the controller allowed you to plug in two of them. So basically, each 4-player could have, like, you know, 2 memory cards. In essence, the Dreamcast can hold a lot of space. It's too bad that the Microsoft Xbox technically ripped off this idea, minus the LCD screen part. That's why this little screen is right here, so you can see the VMU, how you plug it in. Well, here's the port 1, and here's port 2. If you plug it into port 2, you can see it, but only minimalistically, so you have to plug it in the front part. Then that's better. And now it's like almost having a little mini screen on your Dreamcast controller. This is one of the most iconic examples of a video game controller, and it's Sega's example. This was a console that I did play. I never actually, just a little fun fact here, I never owned a Dreamcast before, but I did play one when I was little. I just never owned one. I've had this thing since July of 2013, my 14th birthday. But let's move on. So we're going to plug this controller into the front here. Simple. It's as simple as that. And also, when you power on the console, this thing will also beep. It'll go beep, and then that's it. Like, you can actually see it. So the Sega Dreamcast was known for its wide variety of some great games here. It actually had some worthy sports titles like NBA 2K, the original. Now, I don't normally play... Oh, wow, look, Soul Calibur is in here. How could I not mention Soul Calibur? Unfortunately, the copy I have really doesn't work all that much anymore. But let's just say right now that this is one of the best Dreamcast games ever made. And here we're going to insert it into the system. Just for fun. But yeah, like I was saying, it did have some really cool sports games. And as a matter of fact, these are the type of sports games that I actually play. I don't play many of the other ones, but this is the type of one that I would actually play because the Sega sports games were actually quite good. They were really good. And I bought this at Game Alley, so that's why the case is not really that quality, but whatever. Remember how I told you I'm a fan of compilation titles? Well, Atari Anniversary Edition Redux is also available on the PlayStation 1 called Redux, but I believe this one right here was the first version. It came out the same year as the PlayStation 1 version, 2001. Still a great game. Speaking of a great game, how can you not mention Tony Hawk Pro Skater? One of the few only sports games I ever play. Skating games and, snowboarding games. This is the only type of sports games that I will ever play, minus the basketball one, the NBA. Because like I said, this is the only one I will ever play, simply because it's a Sega game. But it's kind of hypocritical, but yeah, I'm not even going to touch that. But yeah, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 has been regarded as one of the greatest games ever made, and you can see why. I love this game absolutely much. And here's a launch title for the Dreamcast. Ready to Rumble Boxing. A really fun boxing game. Fortunately, it was a definitely worthy contender to Contender 2, which is a boxing game for the PlayStation 1. I honestly thought, I think this one might be superior. I really can't pick. And Test Drive 6. Not that much of a great game, but it's an okay title. I just don't consider it as good as Test Drive 4 or 5. Well, that is it. Unfortunately, this is all the games I have for now. That's because I haven't been really, focused on my gaming collection. I've been mainly focused on my life. So, that's why I don't have too many games for the Dreamcast. But as you can see, the Dreamcast does have a variety of good games. Even the sports games are even playable. And it also has a well put together, built quality controller and an awesome memory card unit. And also an excellent console design, and just an amazing system to play on. It's going to almost be 20 years old for this thing, when it was just 2019. So, I hope you guys did, in fact, enjoy this review. Sorry if this review is not as good as I anticipated. By the way, if you don't buy Soul Calibur with your Dreamcast, you're a fool. Sorry, no, I'm just kidding. But anyway, sorry if this review is not as good, but I'll be back with some better ones. Just tell me what you guys think of this console in the comments below, because like I said, I would be interested in actually, reading your comments. So if you guys did in fact enjoy this video, be sure to subscribe for more videos from the shit. So that we're gonna tell that. Peace out, deuces. Beyond the infinite. I see you on the next TheReptile124 reviews. Whoa. Yeah. I just got back from the bathroom, and next thing you know, I came in here, my consoles, my PlayStation 2, they were like this when I found them. This is, a bit tense. SEGA DREAMCAST versus PlayStation 2. The console that was playing as an innocent bystander versus the console that literally murdered it. Well, it's great to see that these two have finally made amends with each other, like Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels. They both made amends, and now they're really good friends. What a great way to bring, console rivals together into one. Here, let's try something. Just let this happen, PS2. Just let this happen. Wow. He just sat on top of the Dreamcast without no objection. This right here is proof. This right here is proof that the PS2 does in fact have remorse and emotion and compassion. I'm really proud of you. Now I gotta. I'm pretty sure the Dreamcast probably doesn't want to. There you go. That's better. There you go. Now that is how you bring console rivals to friends. Kudos to you guys. We go, the PlayStation 1, the PlayStation 1, the PlayStation 1, dominated the whole freaking PlayStation 1, the PlayStation 1, the PlayStation 1, the PlayStation 1, dominated the whole freaking PlayStation 1, can't get smart with me on this one, PS1 is far better than the Saturn, it has more games, a decent controller, and a popular reception. I'm on the critics. Peace out and deuces beyond the infinite.
Ice Cream Productions!